Biscuits and tea.
All right, 34.99. We're coming in hot. We're doing a little Sporting Kansas City recap. Yep. We are the People's Podcast talking about the people's problems, solving the issues the people care about. You can put that on the fucking docket. All righty. Let's get right into the game yesterday. Very disappointing result. Tyler, you said what was the score of the old DC United?
Ooh, we got smacked 4-1.
That is an ouchie. You guys lost your coach, right? It's his first year without that guy.
Ben
or
Olsen.
Second.
He's been here since
left.
like 2002 or some stupid. Not 2002, but he's been here forever. No, he's
So,
probably
yeah.
2005.
He was the second most tenured coach.
Was
he? The most? I can't remember what it is because Vermees and him, Peter Vermees, and they were both up there. There's a list. I have it on the notes.
That is
let's see.
That is such a perfect description because I like Ben. Like he was definitely one of those like coaches though that doesn't want to be too involved in trainings and stuff. Like he's a player, like always was. Like I like him, but that's something that's so wrong with U.S. soccer. How someone can have a job as a head coach for that long and we made the playoffs like twice maybe through his tenure, twice, 3 times. We might have won one playoff game and. You can't do that. You can't have, especially with a club as historic as DC United. They're supposed to be one of the top clubs in the league.
Yeah. Well, this list that I have here, let me send it to you guys real quick. I'm kind of confused because he's not on this list, but maybe it's only for active. Is he coaching in the MLS right now, or is he coaching not a coach right now?
I don't think he's coaching anywhere.
Okay, so maybe this is just an active list because on here it says that Sporting KC. Peter Vermees started in 2009. Everybody else, it's a pretty interesting list, was 2014, 2016, and then everybody else is like 2018, 2019, 2020. They're all new hires. There's a ton of brand new coaches in the MLS right now. I had no idea. All right, so anyways, let's get right in to the Sporting KC disaster yesterday. We lost 3-1. Could have easily lost 5-1. Real Salt Lake is awful. They're an awful team, flat out.
Really?
And
they're awful. And we lost 3-1.
They're bad. They're bad, dude. And Sporting KC, like, we played well last week. So that's why, like, I'm not trying to be like negative Nancy and just come in here and roast Sporting KC, but like we showed some things last week and we played well. And I'm going to try to just blame this whole performance on the fact that there's altitude difference, right? So it's early on in the season. It's a weird pandemic. You know, you're traveling there. You got to play in the altitude. The guys looked fucking exhausted. I don't know what's going on, but if you remember, Will, when we were over at the old training complex in Kansas City, Kansas, there was like chambers that they can put these players in and they can train at altitude and simulate. So why at the complex that literally Sporting KC trains at, why would altitude be an issue?
It's a great question.
We have all these resources. We have all this stuff to have our players be ready for any moment to go down to fucking Azteca Stadium or wherever in Mexico and fucking play well at altitude. Yet we go to fucking Real Salt Lake and get roasted by maybe a USL quality team.
They cannot be that bad. I need to see some highlights. The fact that I haven't seen this is...
All right.
Wait, Real Salt Lake. Isn't Real Salt Lake in Utah?
Yeah, it's in Utah.
Yeah, there's altitude.
Isn't it in Salt Lake City?
I've been to
I read that it was at altitude.
I don't think it's on it. Maybe I'm.
Because I asked Maddie to search it. I was like, "What is going on with these guys? Like, they look like they're running with like blocks of cinder blocks on their feet. Like they just like seemed like so exhausted."
Very quick. While he's looking for that, what's the deal with COVID and stadiums?
So you can get limited crowds in now. Like you can get, I don't know, like a certain percentage, and then it'll start rolling out where they'll just let everybody in at some point.
Are they wearing masks or?
Yeah, mandatory masks.
Okay.
And I think they're gonna, and then you're gonna have to have your vaccination card here pretty soon to be able to get in. I bet.
You bet, or you think? Like,
I don't know if you have to right now to be vaccinated to be able to get in. I don't think so, but like I just
already,
like,
dude.
But like, I mean, travel, it's already happening with travel and you have to have your thing. Like it's going to be interesting to see how it all.
It's fucking slippery. So, cause now for how long? Where is the 1918 Spanish flu fucking, thing that where's your malaria thing? You show it when you go over. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Going into a stadium?
Such a good point.
Going to a stadium? I need to show you my health and all the. Where are we going?
That's what. Yeah. I was having an interesting conversation with one of my professors at Baker, and they were talking about it that she kind of thinks that it might go that angle. Like they're telling students, like, you want to get your vaccination because it might affect your ability to get employed because of various travel restrictions and all kinds of stuff. So it's like, go get the vaccine. Like, we don't try to put aside your political standpoint on it because it's going to negatively affect you professionally if you don't get the COVID vaccine.
Wait, Remy, you have an issue with people having to show that they've had a COVID vaccine going into stadiums?
For how long, Tyler? When will it stop?
Why does that matter?
What do you mean? For the next 100 years, you have to now show. What if the next thing happens? What if I don't want you in my stadium because you don't, not COVID? I need to, what if that list expands out to you are more susceptible to, I don't know, maybe you give other people other deadly viruses. Maybe I don't need you now. Now we can alienate all of you. When does it stop?
I don't really see that as an issue. Well, stadiums.
When
they're trying to.
Will it stop is my question. It will never stop, though.
It will stop when COVID's not a real issue anymore.
When is that?
When all these fuckers get vaccinated.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, like, you think about India right now. Like, there's so many people in India dying, right? It's so bad right now, but they don't have access to vaccines. So it's like you really only have the top % of people that even have access, and then you have that certain percentage, making the decision, the political choice of whether or not I want to get the thing. And there's people that can't get access and they're dying, and they would take it in a second. So it's a really bizarre,
that's fine,
complex thing.
Taking it is that's not the issue. The issue is where now I'm the government. Now I'm going to put it at the stadium. Now I'm gonna mandatory. I'm gonna make it for your job.
So it isn't the government. It'd be each private business making the decision. Yeah.
There's no separation between our private and our they force them to do in order to comply.
But right now,
yeah,
but Will, so you understand, when right, if you go to Sporting KC, mask mandatory, but if you go to the barbecue joint down the street,
sure,
no, you're not. So there's this weird clash of things going on here, especially in the Johnson County area.
It's going to start with the institutions that I'm sure they have the capabilities of being able to manage, though. There's no way.
Yeah, Challenger, no mask. Challenger, no mask. You don't have to wear a mask inside the building. You walk around, do whatever the hell you want. If you don't get the vaccine, it's on you. Literally. That's pretty much. And I think a lot of businesses are going to carry that same thing. It's okay, if the state says you don't have to wear masks, don't wear masks. But I think these bigger entities, they're looking at it not as a political issue. They're looking at it, okay, well, we don't want to take the risk of letting people in that might potentially have it, or because they don't want that connected to their stadium. But you're right. Where does it end? So you start controlling whether or not these kind of people are in and out. I don't know if I see what you're saying, if it'll evolve to that, if that's really an issue, but it's only time will tell.
Yeah,
right?
I honestly prefer people at this point, if you're going into big places, I'd rather have them say you have to have the vaccine, show that you've gotten the vaccine. Because I just
cool. If we can make it 6 months for 6 months, 1 year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I wonder.
I just at this
proper Orwellian 1984 fucking country at that point. If you cannot ever go anywhere, if it's the stadium, then it's the airport, then it's it doesn't make sense.
Dude, I'm honestly so sick of this shit. We don't let kids go to school without vaccines. What is the government? Oh no, you didn't get your, I don't even know what your tetanus shot or there's so many vaccines kids have to get before they go to school for
your hepatitis.
What
about the hepatitis?
You don't go into all right, but hepatitis, tetanus shot, fucking Spanish flu,
tuberculosis,
malaria. All those
things,
anything. You don't have that, though, when you go into the stadium. They don't ask you if you have malaria. They don't ask you if you have any other thing that could be contagious. And you could have a whole bunch of other things that could be contagious to another person all the time. But we don't ask you if you have it. And we don't mandate that you have a vaccine for malaria if you go into a certain place like that. We don't have to do that. It's recommended. Everyone should take the vaccine. But we don't have to mandate. If we start mandating it, you've already got people who can't, that don't want to, whatever. Then they're out. Are those people out?
That's what I don't agree with that. I mean, I definitely think if you don't want to get the vaccine, I don't think you should have to get the vaccine. I got the vaccine. everyone around me has got the vaccine. Like, okay, I'm trusting science. I'm a sheep. I'm going with what the fucking people are saying to do. I don't care. Like, I'm not going to make that choice. It's not my area of expertise. I'm listening to the doctors. Okay, cool. So I take it. But that doesn't mean that everybody else should line up and have to fucking do it as well. It defeats the whole purpose.
Okay, well then
of, like,
that's fine. You don't want the vaccine, you
That's not the issue.
don't fly.
That's not the issue.
That's how
Don't
is this
fly?
not the issue?
It's not the.
Yeah, if you don't want the vaccine, like it's
a
not
private
your right to go
institution.
get on a plane. That's a private company.
There has to be an airline though. There has to be an airline though that steps up and goes, okay, but you can fly with us if you don't wear a mask. So those people do business with those people.
Don't think
You create
you
this
can do
division.
that.
Yeah,
I think there would be there's some
I want to be
overlap.
that airline.
It
I
wouldn't
want to be the
I,
airline that does not make people wear face masks.
They don't
right
have
now
that.
with every other airline.
This is what I'm talking about.
I don't think they have that power.
They don't have that power. That's part of the issue. They don't have that sort of power because there's no separation between the government is going to stipulate that, and you're talking about crossing lines. Now you got fucking federal government involved anyway, even if it's just within. It's impossible, and that's dictated by them, which means that the government is truly in a position to tell them, listen, everybody that gets on your plane has to have this thing. And the problem, Tyler, is that whenever you give the government an ability to extend its power in a certain way, just like the Patriot Act, you never know how far they are going to take it and for how long. If we can control the limits of the government's ability to say you have to do something, that is in the people's best interest. For us to have a check and balance system for the government not to extend the COVID passport into a cancer passport, into a income, where are you from, where all this, anything that they could use in order to further off their go down this line.
I get the whole slippery slope thing, but the COVID thing is honestly, the government's been doing nothing but trying to protect the people for this, and people have just been fucking idiots, straight up. Like the people actually, like if the government said nothing for COVID, the world would be in such a shithole right now. Everybody would be so fucked up. All the hospitals would be fucked up. Everybody, 100%. If there was no guidelines and weren't going to enforce anything, how much worse would it have been?
This country is a poor example of that, but this is a different culture because there are only recommendations here, and it's fine. But you can't do that in America.
That's what I'm saying, mostly in the U.S. And I don't know, like, honestly, all these people, if you don't want to wear a mask, if you don't want to get a vaccine, you can hang out in your basement, you can drive across country, take a fucking boat across the ocean, like, make your life more difficult for yourself because you don't want to do what the vast majority of the population has agreed to, pretty much.
But that's never a good thing. That's never a good thing to tell.
Never a good thing?
It's never a good thing to live
That's how we've slowly been trying to deal with like racism, homophobia, all that stuff. It's like there's this,
but the vast majority
group that kind of
but that's the whole point of your country, is that you have, just because the vast majority is wanting to have that, you still have to let the Ku Klux Klan meeting is legal. They have to be able to meet. It's important that they are allowed to meet and discuss in the same way that it's allowed to have a discussion about misgendering athletes. You need to have a place for them. If you start cutting that out,
yeah, you could have a place for them, but it doesn't mean that anything you're involved with, you have to let them come in too. You say, all right, you guys want to have your little
they have to have a right to
meetings,
protest. They have to have a right to protest.
They can, but you don't have to. If I own a store and I see someone in a Ku Klux Klan outfit, I can say, no, you're not coming in my store.
That's private.
Get the fuck out of here. No, you're not coming on my plane. Get the fuck out of here. No, you're not.
Of course. That's private business. That's your business. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the government mandated that if I wear, it's like, that's the other issue. If you just take it to burqas, right? In Europe, France banned that. They banned it. You can't, no public, they can have that power. So you can't.
That's so bizarre.
You can't limit that. You can't limit it. Private enterprises can do whatever the fuck they want because they're private enterprises. They have to abide by certain laws, but they can decide who comes in.
Yeah, but what you're saying,
that's not.
But you're saying that it's being affected though by the government.
Well, obviously.
Yes, they are.
We're not talking about those private. There's no difference between American Airlines and United Airlines. Yeah, it's going to do who's going to bail them out also if they have issues. It's going to be the government, the banks. Yeah. That's for sure. For sure. They need to be, Tyler, we can't let them, we can't just let them go willy-nilly. It's cool. Cool guys, just pass anything. That's good. 20 years later, when we figure out that you guys passed some laws that took this away or took that away, you got to be on top of them. So you can't just let them, cool, this passport, that thing. No. Like, Cool.
So you're not for the COVID passport at all for traveling?
That's the same thing as having malaria. When you go to certain places in Africa, you need it. You need that. That's fine. That's fine. I'm talking about going into a stadium. You said
That's a
moving
private
around,
business, though.
right? But moving around in your city now becomes it's impossible.
It's bizarre because you have the government literally saying no more masks starting tomorrow at or tonight at 12 whatever, like whenever it hits Monday. You don't have to wear a mask when you walk into the coffee shop down the street. Not to say that when I was at the coffee shop yesterday, dude doesn't just walk straight in without a mask on, orders coffee, and doesn't have anybody say anything to him. But officially tomorrow, you don't have to. But you have to if you go into Sporting KC. Someone will come up to you and they'll poke you on the shoulder and say, "Hey, sir, ma'am, they, them, you need to wear a mask."
Yeah.
Or you're fucking out. What a bizarre, but no one's going to do that. Who the fuck at a paying ticket, you go to the game, you pay for a ticket, you sit down. No fucking chance that someone's going to come down there who's making $20, $15, maybe less than that an hour and say, "You need to get out of the stadium because you're not wearing your mask." Get out of here, dude. It's all semantics. It's all about arguing. It's all about political. It's just so far away from the point. It's just nuts, dude. But anyways, if we just want to watch some soccer here, maybe break down some plays, we can get away from all of that. It's like, Jesus Christ, what a crazy thing, man. What a world, what a weird world. All right. Arnis, take us to 0.54, please, to kick us off with the outstanding start from Sporting Kansas City.
Is Raimondo still with Real Salt Lake, or did he retire?
No way, Raimondo's around.
I'm not sure. Okay. So we got a counterattack here. Little quick outlet pass. Look at this outstanding defending.
Ooh.
Busio.
Okay.
That's a good goal.
He runs past the ball. So Busio, if you can pause real quick, he's our number 10, right? Like they've put the number 10 on him. He's 19, I think. Very, very young. But he's talented. Like he's got really nice skills. He has the right thought. But like overall, he plays well for the first half. And then he just kind of just fades away in the second half. He's really small body type, really skillful and stuff. I think he just gets frustrated or something playing. You'd have to just watch him full out, but that's how they started off. I mean, it was a nice goal. What do you guys think?
The MLS is notorious for these breaks. One of the biggest knocks that people will say about smaller European leagues is like what is this? That's not good. I never see breakdowns like I see in the MLS.
Play it again, Artis. You can just play it. I think they'll show a highlight.
Okay, yeah. I never see these breakdowns where...
No, DC got scored on once yesterday. It was one ball from 10 yards outside the box, but going the other way. One ball down the sideline, sent a guy in a breakaway, and he just took it in and scored.
Right.
With 5 touches. And I'm wait, where did...
This was 3 touches. This was 3 passes. I mean, it was one outlet pass, and it was between 2 guys. He dummied the ball, so you can count that as a pass maybe. But, I mean, what are we doing here? What are these guys doing? Can you pause real quick? That's literally what I'm saying, when I'm talking about just fundamental, defensive, knowledge. I'm not a genius. I'm not saying I could do better than these guys. But, from a professional, from your guys' standpoint, looking at that, how
it's
just flustered.
What it is it's either the outside backs pushing. It's consistently in the MLS. The outside backs will push up really fucking far, and no midfielder will track back and cover for them. And all of a sudden, it's 4v2 with one sprung ball.
There's so many of that. Though. How much of that is?
It's never it happens 4 times a half.
Tons. It happens too much in the MLS, and it doesn't have anything to do with the technical ability, like you're saying, B. When you look at the finish and you look at the passing and the understanding, great pass to the side, good pass, excellent dummy, great composure, good finish. Nobody's talking about that. But these situations and setups are just mind-blowing.
That's not sustainable. That, I can't feel good about. That's a goal that you have your team scored and you're okay, they're bad. We took advantage of them being bad. But you're not going to be able to score those kind of goals when you're getting into playing high level teams. That's not going to happen. What you guys are saying, no fucking chance.
But that's also what people like about the MLS, though. That's when people say it's an entertaining league. They say the games are entertaining. That's what they mean. It's because there's 5 or 6 times a half, there's a team going at another team with numbers on a counter.
So that was one of the plays I wanted you guys to see. If you guys can go back to that real quick to 135 real quick and just show this fucking guy. This number 36 Martins. He's like this outside back. I do not understand like why he plays. But look at this. So he clicks in the middle of the field, dribbles up, right? Blast it. Just horrible shot.
He's got
right?
numbers in there.
So
is that a Seth Sinovic's replacement?
I think so. So if you can so they didn't show it in this highlight, but this guy literally they didn't show it. I wish I could show you guys, but he missed that shot, right? And then he was running back, and then he like got back to midfield, and he was like had this like crazy look on his face, like that crazy defender look on his face, and he was acting like he was gonna score that. Like literally thought he like should have scored that goal. Oh my god.
That's
let's see. 210 is the next one, so you can just he gets fouled here. That's I guess he played for the Mexican team for a while. So this is their first goal, Real Salt Lake.
Good ball, but
that's still horrendous defending. I mean,
it's kind of choppy.
There's a lot of numbers in the box. I mean,
it's a little choppy. It's just lack of tracking people back.
He was there. No, he tracked him well. He just didn't get on the front side of him.
Number 48's really he's like 18 years old, I think.
Oh, they didn't track him. Oh, that was. Oh, those were some good runs by Real.
Man, look at this. But look at this effort right here on this cross. No effort to stop the cross in, and there's 3 guys just standing flat-footed. Like what?
They got sucked in.
Well, they got sucked in
by that first 2 runners. That was actually really good. That was actually really good runs by Real Salt Lake. Look, you see the first 2 runners? They take the 2 center backs, and then the guy comes and takes the space from behind them.
Oh, so that's where they could have scored a goal right there. Yeah, this one they could have scored easily, wide open, just didn't connect on it. It could have been easily 2-1 right there.
It's tough for that guy. But yeah, easily could have gone the other way.
Fun fact, Nick Beasler started in this game. Nick Beasler, the younger brother of Matt Beasler, he started in this game. He actually played pretty well.
Is Beasler? I don't know if you the skinny black guy, short black guy of the US team?
No, that's Beasley.
Beasley.
No, yeah, Matt Beasler is from Overland Park here. He played on Sporting KC for a ton, and then he went to Austin FC. But yeah, his brother played in this and went to Blue Valley West. But at 4:21 is the next thing I wanted to show you guys.
Is this plus? Oh, okay, I thought they were about to score next time.
Yeah, right there. Okay, this is the second half. Another goal. So just dribbles through.
That's bad.
Cross, no one back, goal. This is the backup goalkeeper for Sporting KC too. Our other guy, he's out. Melia is out right now. But I mean, just bad. They look tired, like they just look tired.
That's just mental. That's whoever was on the. I don't know why he went in with the guy into the middle when he's running right into 3 other defenders instead of just sitting on the back post.
Who was on
26? Yeah, I don't understand why the guy who would have jumped right there. Why did he not just pass that guy off?
Well, he left him.
I mean,
I don't know. I mean, he left him maybe thinking it was coming to him. You got to suck in, right?
He followed that attacker to where the attacker's running towards 3 other defenders and just leaves the guy wide open. Look at that. The guy's going to be covered on that front post.
If you could pause real quick. So the number 48 is his name's Kaveh. I don't know how to say his first name. Kaveh Rad. And he's a homegrown player, and everyone's really, really up about all these homegrown players. I'm excited, obviously, to see that we're trying to develop people through our system and play them. But this is a 19-year-old, and you'll see in a little bit here, he gets turned around again. But like that initial ball that got played, the guy just went right past him. He literally didn't even put any, he was trying to play defense. The guy moved right past him like a cone and just played it right in. I mean, it's 2 times on defensive pressure where Sporting KC is supposed to be a very defensive-oriented team that's very structured and doesn't let that kind of shit happen.
That's been our MO.
Vermees has got to be losing his shit today. Like, Savagn's got to be losing his shit, So, yeah. You'll see here in a bit.
We had a 17-year-old score against us in DC yesterday.
Oh.
It was actually on that play I was.
You know what?
It was on that play I was talking
about. If you're a young guy in the MLS now,
yeah,
this is if you're a young attacking player, the MLS is where you should go.
Oh yeah,
with all that space, fuck you. Yeah,
it's
great.
Tyler, do you think that the goalkeeper should have saved that last goal though?
No, that's a 1v1. You should never I'm never gonna say you should save a 1v1.
Yeah, I mean, it went through his legs. I just wanted to ask
No,
you though.
you go
just
after the
on-
spread save. You're taking like it's gonna go in or it's gonna hit you. Like it's
Okay. Yeah, a lot of Sporting KC fans were saying that Tim Mulio would have saved that. And I was kind of thinking the same thing as
I mean,
you.
he
It's like,
might have.
that's tough, you know.
He
But
might
he
have.
might
Like,
have.
I don't like when people get into hypotheticals with keepers like
Do
that.
you think he came out
I have to
quick
see.
enough?
I honestly, I'd have to see it again.
Can we play one more time
Go back to it.
from 421? Well, GK goal
GK
breakdown.
brought to you by Road.
Let's see. So he goes here. No. What are you supposed to do there? There's
What's
a guy.
he
This
supposed to
guy.
do?
He kicks out the right leg too. He honestly plays it. Do they get a replay? He plays it pretty perfectly in my eyes. It just. Let me see. Let's see.
Yeah.
It's like what do you know? He takes a big touch. He comes out. He gets his foot out. No, what the fuck are you guys? What are
I hope people. I hope
about?
that maybe there's some other ones that I
I
read that they're referencing, but
there's no way.
That's a
Yeah.
good
Not to
that's a
mention-
good effort. Like he
did-
read
yeah.
it well. He put him.
I thought he did
wide.
well.
Like, what is he supposed to do?
I thought he did
He's
well.
already look how much space he's having to cover.
I know.
What goalkeeper needs to run from his goal line to the edge of the 6 in order to try and stop a 1v1? We failed you as a goalie.
Yeah, no. Your fans can go fuck off.
He's
with that.
This is my favorite play of the game. This is my favorite play of the game. And this is Brody. Fucking Brody, dude. Brody came into the game with like 15 minutes in. And I don't know why he subbed in, but the guy he subbed in for must have like had to take a shit or something, because he didn't even like shake his hand when he came off the field. He went straight to the locker room and the announcer was like, "Oh, looks like we got a little hamstring." But it's like he wasn't limping. He just left the field. And everyone, like this Brody guy comes on, and he does not look like he's going to be a dominant player. I don't mean any offense to Brody.
No.
He's a
Who's this Brody? He plays for Sporting or
Real Salt Lake. So the guy that has the
For
ball right
Real.
here makes this run. I just want to make a point because this guy played his ass off yesterday. He looks like kind of like Jared Muntz. And I kind of imagine that he would play kind of like Jared Muntz. But this dude came out and he subbed in for one of their better players, from my understanding, from the announcers talking, and he balled out. Like he was literally one of the best players on the field yesterday. He didn't score, but he got the assist on the first goal, I believe. And then he was just, look at him make this run. You can play it, Arnis.
All right, let's see it.
This man,
Go Brody.
he just
Whoa.
blowing past people, dude.
Whoa, Brody.
It started from the back corner too. He just makes the pass. It doesn't go and it happen for me.
Wild shot.
But it was fun.
Where is he going? Where is that defender going? Is he go rewind this? Watch this guy's movements.
Okay, so it bounces out.
Watch this
has the
left.
ball.
Yeah, watch the left back.
So Busio not playing defense. just
Where
lets
is
him
he
walk.
going? Why did he just run? Is he not checked?
Because you know what it is? You know what a lot of that is? I've always noticed that in the US, we have a hard time of reading tactical situations like that, Tyler, because you're taught to stay connected to the line. You're taught to go back to the center. You don't know when to push out to your guy. And you got guys who are going to be
That is
I've seen it so many times.
play. What happens on that play all the time is they slotted a through ball out wide. He's 5 yards behind his line. So now it's a 2v1 and he slots the ball across and there's a guy in the fucking 6 who just taps it in. He just ruined the whole line. He doesn't stay with the like. Where is he going?
So you guys think that it's not the fact that they're tired? Like we can throw that out. Like you don't think that those?
We need to see the full game.
The highlights, I can't tell.
Okay.
He's tired in the highlights
For sure. I just think the mental mistakes and stuff. The lackadaisical defensive thing. Like that does come from being tired sometimes. But
early in the season, every team's just kind of sorting
for sure.
out.
For sure. Okay, so now we're at 5:54 is the next one. Here we go.
See, this is fine. There should be no chance on goal off of this.
Just pause, please, pause.
So this is David's. This is once again this David's guy that took that 40-yard shot. This is him one-on-one with this guy. But go ahead, Will.
Oh, really? I thought he was a left back.
Oh, no, that's 48. Sorry, that's 48.
If our left back loses 11 on the back post, I swear to God.
Oh, no, dude, your guys are going to love this. This is 48. Sorry, I was talking about the previous
He's going to get sucked into the ball.
Right.
I guarantee he's not even going to watch 11.
Oh, just watch. Ice skates. I
wonder if he knows he's there. All right, let's see.
Boom, boom. See you later. Adios. See ya. Boom.
Oh, no.
Oh,
boom. No.
Goal.
Ooh.
Goal. Just cut up. 19-year-old. Let's put the 19-year-old out there on the field. Throw him to the Wolves. Just ice skates.
He does not look
He's giving up.
But this is what I'm talking about, though. One-on-one,
Where's his help?
3 guys, 1 on 3.
You double that. Why would you not just double that?
It's insane, dude. Go back, please. Go back.
That's
Go back just a few seconds.
1v4. It's 1v4
It's so bad.
with no one around.
It's 1v6. Look at pause.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
They're both moving to the same spot. They're both covering the same space. That'd be so easy to double down on.
And guess Jalen Lindsey, he's a homegrown talent, and he's 18 years old. And then we got, this other 48 Rad. They're both young. They're both so young, and they're academy products. They're not ready, dude. Fun. They're not ready.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's not ready. Maybe they're not ready, but it's more of a league wide. This is standard. We get these weird 1v. You never see this in Europe.
You got to dip down. Like I see this. I see similar stuff in like the Croatian third league. Like you gotta drop down a bit, and then it will pop up.
Okay.
But
I've never seen it before. Like it's just where one guy is dancing against two, and you feel kind of safe, and then just look at the whole. It seems like every attack is a counterattack in the MLS.
The whole game was counters.
Every attack
game was counters, dude. And I don't even mean to throw 48. I don't mean to throw Lindsey and Rad under the bus. Like, you should not be you should not be isolated inside the 18-yard box. You're going to it's a professional soccer player. More than likely, they're going to be able to beat you one-on-one.
Yes.
Especially in the 18 where you can't dive. What are you supposed to do?
Why are they both so scared of him going wide here, too? Why are two players giving him the inside?
Let him go
Why are they
wide.
both giving him to put the ball in his right foot with a shooting chance?
I don't know.
Can you imagine Peter Vermeer? Like, what was it like playing for Peter, Will? Like, defensively, what is he talking about?
Yeah. There's no chance. He's probably destroyed them in the locker room defensively. And he doesn't, I don't know if he's going to give them it might be the job of the assistant coaches to give them actual information, but that's unacceptable for him, to cut inside, to get off a shot when you're up numbers, it just doesn't make any sense. Obviously here we are outside of it, it's easy for us to look on it and say we could do better, but his teammates and as a collective, they are well aware that they could do much more.
They would agree. I mean,
than let a guy get off a shot.
Game. It's a bad game. And I'm not like everyone has bad games and these kind of things, but this was not what I saw last week when we went to this. That's why I'm like, is it the altitude? What's the deal? But it's like, what the hell? Like, we're professional athletes. Let's be ready to freaking play in real. So it shouldn't be like that. This reminded me of when we get on a bus for Baker and have to drive a bus out to the middle of nowhere fucking Nebraska and have to hop off the thing and train up, get warmed up and then play. It's like everyone looks like shit, that people make mistakes, and then goals like this happen. That's what it looked like yesterday. So it's really weird.
Yeah. I mean, it is early in the season too. And what the way the world is now. I mean, there's still probably, there's no excuse technically, but still.
I mean, that was the last goal. So that ended up being 3-1. Tyler is gone.
We've lost Tyler back.
No, but that was the last goal. It ended up 3-1, and that was pretty much the epitome of the game. They pulled out Busio, the number 10 that I was mentioning. They pulled him out at the 70th minute or something. So it's that's our number 10, our best attacking player, but he disappeared. Peter had no choice but to pull him off of the field. He was not doing anything. He was jogging around, and if you watched him, you saw the last game. He has talent. He played well in the first half. He was doing the skillful things, flick passes, and he was completing them. But then he was also making just terrible mistakes, and he's just lackadaisical. And you can just get this sense that he's above the MLS. And people have gotten to his head, hey, you could play in the EPL soon, and this and this and this. So it's come on, bro. You can't be just out there just running around.
I see. It seemed like he's that lackadaisical. I mean, I wish I'd seen the game more. We're gonna have to do some crazy live.
Yeah, that's why I've been trying to watch this so that we can have some more commentary on it. I'm gonna watch all the games this year. But it's just did you play with Espinoza, or did you know Espinoza at all?
Yeah. I didn't play with him, but I know him. I mean, we've met a few times. We have a bunch of mutual.
Yeah, it seems like a really nice dude. But in terms of as a player, how would you describe him?
I don't know. I don't know him well.
Because he plays like
enough.
I thought he was like more like defender for a long time, but now he kind of moved into that number 6 role. But like he really like he has a high work rate. Obviously, he has decent skill, but he doesn't have like the number 10 or like number 8 or like a true number 6 kind of distribution or like anything like that. It's like you're going to plug him there and he's going to be able to organize you defensively. Maybe that's why Peter put him in at the end of the game there, because he saw how young and inexperienced and how bad our defense and our structure was. So he plugged him in there, but like we needed goals. And he came in and he just kills a ton of any of the offensive creativity and things like that. But it was not fun to watch.
It's so hard, dude. It's so hard. It's hit or miss in the MLS. Like honestly, I feel like every year is different, and you kind of have to figure out your team. And as you can see, we don't have dynasties. We don't have dynasties in the MLS. Like we don't have teams that are just like, wow, 7-8 years. They're just the top. Like Seattle is basically, the dynasty. To make it to the final, to get all that, to do that. But still, they're not dominant, Like when you look at the rest of the world and you look at the top teams that are there, it's just like, whoa, Boca Juniors did it again. Real Madrid, is Barcelona are there again.
Much more money for winning their leagues too. They win their leagues, they get to go to Champions League, they get to go to Europa League, and then I think it's easier to stay as like that dominant force if you constantly have this revenue stream that's so much more than everybody else in your league.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
MLS is like communist football.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the league wants that.
I wouldn't want it. I like parity. I don't like it when there's teams that just run through everybody.
Yeah, I mean the Bundesliga. You got to look at the Bundesliga though. Like, I mean,
yeah.
It's not like that.
I don't know, man. Like, it's an interesting situation here in Kansas City because everyone looks up to Peter Vermes and they view him as someone that's like really, really successful and really respected in the community. And like, but like we haven't won a lot. Like we've won one championship, right? Since
no, we've won 2 under him, right?
2009. I can't remember.
Please tell me we've won 2. I remember 1. I mean,
how many championships?
It's been a while.
Has Vermes won?
You're right about that, though. I mean, it's hard to imagine this being like, say, Peter Vermes leaves. It's hard to imagine this being an Arsenal situation because we're not winning. We're not winning championships, I mean, I think we've won the Open Cup also.
Yeah, so Vermes is the longest tenured head coach in the MLS and the 5th winningest coach in MLS history. During his tenure in Kansas City, he has won 4 major trophies: 2012, 2015, 2017 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. So that's 2012, 2015, 2017 Open Cups, 2013 MLS Cup, and finished atop. He's only won 1 MLS Cup 2013 since 2009.
Ooh, Jesus Christ.
Manchester.
That's not good enough.
Manchester United Liverpool kickoff delayed after fans protest on Old Trafford.
About what?
It might be Super League.
The Super League stuff. And they're burning American flags.
Oh my gosh, these people.
I just want to finish it up and wrap up with just talking about Peter Vermes because 2009, he's been here and everyone views him as like the most winningest head coach. And it's pretty easy to be the most winningest head coach in anything if you're the most tenured coach. Like that stat is skewed to say that. You're measured on championships, and Kansas City soccer fans need to be more critical of winning championships, dude. Like we've had good teams. We've gotten deep, and I'm not saying that Peter Vermes is the sole reason why we haven't won, but anywhere else in the world, we know this. It would not be good enough.
Right.
It would not be good enough.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, I take that back. You're right. Anywhere else in the world, I mean, it depends. It's like saying Brazil, when they go to the World Cup and they don't win the World Cup, the coach resigns after the game immediately, right after the game. And so it's about what we hold the standard to. And if it's okay for the Kansas person to just have a new stadium, get some new stuff, and get a bunch of shiny objects, then we're okay. Like that's just the Kansas way. But it seems that Kansas is about winning. We've won a lot, we've won a lot of other things. And you're right. If this was any other big club, you gotta you have to have trophies. Like they just don't accept.
I don't think Andy Reid for the Kansas City Chiefs, if he couldn't coach long enough for us to test this out. But honestly, like if he only won the Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes and he went like maybe 2 or 3 more years where we didn't win the Super Bowl, I think that he would get fired. I think Andy Reid would be gone.
Totally.
Immediately, the GM, gone. I think everyone would just clear out because like, okay, we got Patrick Mahomes and we need to make sure we have the right people in place. Our ownership would be like, all right, we got to make a change immediately.
I don't think
Wasting
that's
opportunities.
True. Look how long Mike
Why not?
McCarthy was able to stay in Green Bay.
Oh yeah, look at Green Bay and where they're at.
And
Holy
Andy Reid.
smokes.
Well, I know they're in bad shape
What
now,
a
but
disaster.
Andy Reid's like not even a comparable coach to Mike McCarthy.
They've been in bad shape since McCarthy was there.
I know. That's what I mean.
Aaron Rodgers is why he left.
I don't know. It's hard to fire a Super Bowl winning coach. It's hard.
Not when you have Aaron Rodgers.
They didn't though. They didn't. He coached like 6 seasons with them after.
But they literally will not. Yeah, I agree.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to fire a coach that won a Super Bowl.
And that's part of the reason why Aaron Rodgers wants out. But go ahead, Will. Sorry.
But no, the only reason I want to cut in is to make a correlation between the differences between American football and soccer. Let's just say soccer. Because Claudio Ranieri won with Leicester. I'm sorry. Nobody said Leicester. That's like, it's literally like, is Cincinnati or Detroit still bad at football?
Mm-hmm.
Or, right? Like, so that's me not paying a whole lot of attention and still knowing that they're bad. If they won the Super Bowl last year, you would go fucking insane, right?
Yeah.
Well, Leicester did it. And then the next year, they got off to a bad start. And then they just fucking fired their coach. Or maybe it was like 1 year after. Yeah. But like the second like that he didn't bring them, they're like, we won. And like you weren't supposed to win. And then they didn't, then they started to not win. They were just like, you're gone. Like you're gone. You brought us this trophy that no one ever thought you could. Champions League football, gone. What he's got is insane, dude.
Yeah. Is that better than this letting someone maybe have more time? Like, is it better to continue just to keep flipping your staff until you find the one that you want? Or do we let Peter Vermees since 2009 just, all right, we're going to run with you until you retire? You know, like, is that better so that you can get a system in place? I don't know. You guys would know better than me, obviously, if like a professional locker room standpoint. Like, what would you guys rather see? A locker room with a tenured coach or a locker room with people that are fresh and new and 100% the right people for the job, and the ownership's being very critical every single time?
So much of that just depends on the coach. I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's like, it's not really possible to say on just like a blanket statement.
Statement. It is hard. It depends. Yeah, it definitely depends on a whole lot of factors. But I've been in, like when I was playing for Sporting, Bob Gansler was there for a long time, and he was one of those tenured dudes. And we were on our way to, not even on our way. We had lost 6 games, like not tied. We lost 6 games in a row. And so they had to fire him. I don't know how long he'd been there before, but he'd been there a good long time. Like, maybe even a decade. I don't know, a long time. And he lost 6 games in a row. We weren't going to make the playoffs. And that was it. And he came by and he said, after he's like, I figured I would have more time. Like he expected that everything he did in the past would give him more time. And it's like, I know the management, I know the front office didn't want to let him go. Like it's a hard thing. Like imagine we don't make the playoffs this year. The front office in Sporting Kansas City is going to be like, dude, we know you've been here for a long time, but I don't know at what point.
That's what I'm saying. Like when, like, is that going to happen to Vermees? And that's why, like, I don't know, because if you look at, all right, so step out of the MLS. So Tyler, for example, UMKC, University of Missouri, Kansas City, the only Division I men's program in the KC Metro. Everyone else is D2. Got Rockhurst, Baker, NAIA, Benedictine, NAIA. You have a handful of that. Like, so UMKC is like known for losing. They get their ass kicked all the time. And that coach has been there. I don't remember his name. What's his name? Will, I can't.
Rick Benben?
Yeah, Rick Benben. Like, nice guy. Nothing against any of these guys. Like, Nate Hauser's another one I played with at Baker. These are guys that are tenured coaches, and they've been in these positions, and they don't win championships. And if the Baker head football coach wasn't winning football games, he would be fucking fired immediately. He'd be gone, dude. He'd be gone. And like, I think Hauser's done a great job with the program. I think, but I know he's disappointed. I'm disappointed we didn't win my senior year, and we're disappointed all the years that we had great players go through there and not win. And that's not all on Hauser, 100%. But he hasn't won it, and that's like what the world is, right? You got to win the championships, or else you're gone. And that's just not the same culture that I see in the Kansas City world. I'm not saying that I think that all coaches should just be fired left and right. I'm not saying Peter should be fired. I'm saying any of these guys should be fired. I'm just saying, why is there not more commentary around the fact that we're not winning? Like, okay,
about winning.
We're winning games. Okay, great. We win the conference, or we're top 10 in the nation, or we make it to the playoffs, or we're top of the standings, but we don't win, dude. We don't win.
Yeah. That's important. I think, yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's why come work for Golarani, B&T fans, because we are winners here. As you can tell, it's important that we win. All right. We'll give you some space. Tyler's over here letting it ride. We're winning in the GK Golarami arena. Right.
Yeah.
So no, but yeah, you're right though. Like, I think it's more important. Like, we don't win it. We're not going to, cut off your head. No. And try and do that to win, but it's important that winning is.
I just find it fascinating.
Like, we want to be better.
I just find it fascinating.
Winners get better.
Yeah, overall, I just find it fascinating. Not even like I said, like I couldn't do a better job coaching. I couldn't do a better job playing. Like that's not. I'm Stephen A. Smith, and I'm Stephen A. Smith right now, just talking about what I'm seeing. And I played and I watch a lot of soccer, but it's like if you look at other sports that we're successful in. And you look at other countries that are successful in the game of soccer, the things that we kind of just let go by because the general population doesn't really understand what's going on here. They're watching the games, they're excited about it, they go to the games, they're season ticket holders. But like, in terms of like, okay, are we worried about winning, or is it just more about the experience? Is it more about the marketing? Because it's a great venue. And it's a great organization. Totally. You go out there, you're gonna have a great time. Great time.
We're top 5. We're top 5 in that.
Easily.
Hands down.
But
hands down.
You have the nice jersey, you have the screens, the smoke, everything is beautiful. And then the whistle blows and you start playing and it just doesn't match. It's strange. It's really weird. But last game, like I said, they played well. It was very encouraging. We had a lot of young players that have the right ideas. And I'm hoping that this game was like they're trying to put the young players out there and get them minutes and experience and expose them, and maybe they can build off of this, because I would rather see that than playing fucking whoever else, at 37, that has nothing to offer. 37-year-old has nothing to offer. These guys that have been playing for so long and have nothing else to do and can't win. They won once in 2013. Get rid of them, dude. Get rid of them. Why? I love Sesanovic. I love Matt Beasler, but like, guys, like, they were not the best players to put on the field for the past couple of years.
Right.
It's just weird. Well, the whole culture's weird.
Yeah. I mean, I've not seen a full, so I have no idea. Honestly, I get my reports on Sporting from people that are there. It's impossible for me to wake up in the middle of the night and fucking watch a Sporting game. But yeah, winning should be part of the culture of every club, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you just need to fire the coach. You're right. But because there's such change, and it's also a problem in the MLS. How do you build this team? Freaking feels like everything changes all the time. It feels like every team changes every year, changes all their players. They do that in Turkey, and it never works out well. It's crazy. They're just moving money around.
The rosters just changed. So the last thing I want to ask you guys before we sign off is based on the tenured coaches. So longevity and head coaches don't always go together. A fact that came into view last week when DC United announced the departure of Ben Olsen after a decade at the helm. So he was there for a decade. Peter Vermes has been there since 2019. It looks like there's about 15 coaches.
2019? You mean 2009?
Yeah, 2009. Sorry. So since 2019, there's been like 15 coaches that are new. How many of those coaches do you think will get past 2-3 years? Like, do you think most of them will have this similar tenured experience to Vermes and Olsen?
No.
Or do you think that those?
No.
Okay.
No. The next biggest tenured coach that you're going to be looking at once Vermes is done is
so we have Jim Curtin from Philadelphia, Greg Vanny.
He'll be pretty long. It's definitely going to be the Seattle dude, and I just can't remember his name.
Schmitzer.
Schmitzer, yeah. Yeah, it'll be Seattle after
So 2016.
after Vermees goes.
He started in 2016, and the only guys that have been there longer than him is Greg Vanney and Jim Curtin from Toronto and Philadelphia. And
Jim will be there for a while.
that's like he started with the club though too. So like he was the founding coach of the founding club, yeah? 2014.
That's tough too. Wow. I didn't
And he's still that's there,
tough.
you know? Like that's impressive that he's still there.
That's impressive.
It's impressive to me that Peter Vermees made it through the KC Wizards to Sporting KC transition. They're playing in, you know, the T-Bone Stadium and they're getting their ass beat. I can't believe he made it through that. That's
and
impressive.
then it helped. He cemented with the new. We won shortly after
that really
changed.
helped. Yeah,
and that basically kind of set things up. So
yeah, Tyler, do you think that any of these guys, 2019,
I don't know.
2020, like
don't know
how many of
anything.
those guys?
I
just think like, the turnover. Yeah,
I don't know who they are. I don't.
I don't either. I'm not like that's. I think you're missing the point. I'm just trying to just get a general. Like we see the trend, right? We see coaches that now Peter Vermees and Ben Olsen, like they were in there. Were they necessarily winning? Was how many championships did Ben Olsen win?
0.
So like, how does someone stay in a fucking coaching position for a decade and not win? Why did he make it to 10 years?
Because he played with the club. He's like a club icon.
He's a great guy.
He's a legend.
He's my best friend. He's a great guy. He scored 1 million.
No, that's
goals.
what. That's
like,
how.
I'm not.
That's how
he's
DC
a nice
works.
guy. I like him. I don't hate Peter Vermees. I don't hate Ben Olsen. I don't hate but like at the end of the day, like how no one else is being measured on that same scale of all right, year after year we don't accomplish the key goal of why we're even playing, and then you just keep the job for 10, 14, 15, 20 years. Like when what are we doing?
Well, there's no punishment for losing, so.
Well, there's no wait, well, you just brought up a thing, and now that since we have to go, that's why promotion and relegation are important, because in American sports, we even have, or in the MLS, you can win the season, the supporter shield, and then no one cares. No one cares. It's America. You got to win playoffs. That's all we care about, And so there's a big thing. We need promotion and relegation. That's not going to happen because it costs millions, hundreds of millions of dollars to join the league, and they want their money back. And so if you get a new team in the league and they get relegated, there goes $200 million.
Yeah.
Like that.
Not
so no. Yeah.
But I mean, we don't have that in all the other major sports, and it's very competitive. So I don't fully understand. But that's a whole nother topic and a whole nother podcast probably. So
all right, well, the last thing, since we're basically closing in on this hour. Do you guys both think, I got 2 questions. One, do you think Americans would love promotion and relegation in soccer?
Yes, I think they would love it.
Yeah, I think the fans.
The average
Tyler?
The fans would like
I think
it.
they don't. Yeah, the fans.
The owners, no chance.
No, fuck off the owners. Fuck off the owners. We need to push things forward. Let's just say they all agree to it because we all held them.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Or I don't know if the support's big enough to have a club like MLS club go down to a second tier and like not just.
Well, we need to change the structure of things. Forget that. Don't worry about that because we can't have LAFC playing in
the USL,
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're going to
New
some
Mexico.
guest spots or something.
I don't know. We'll sort it out. Like the teams that are in the USL that have a big enough stadium and big enough support, maybe we make that. Whatever. Let's just imagine
combine the Mexican League and the American League. Maybe we do something there. I don't know.
I think
people
at
are
least
talking about that like crazy.
I think at least something that would be is we need to get all these stupid different leagues all into the same thing. So I think the USL is pretty much already won the like lower tier battle. If we can just get promotion relegation from like the 3 leagues leading up to the MLS, I think it'd be a good place to start. I think that's how Australia is set up.
Right. That's hard though, too, because if maybe Albuquerque, or if Podunk City and Podunk State makes it there somehow, like we've got to figure out how to get you a $200 million.
No, I'm talking
stadium.
to the USL champion.
I
guess that's no. I'm talking like it would get cut off at the USL championship.
Oh, okay. So yeah, starting it down there. Yeah, that's fine. I just meant all I wanted to know is if you guys think that the fans who have never experienced anything like this.
They would until their team gets relegated. Like 100%. That's what it would be.
I think it's great though because I don't think people don't understand if you ever play or are involved in a relegation battle, there's nothing else to talk about. Like that, it takes over your entire world. The whole city is like got your hopes up, and then if it does bad, like everybody's pissed. There's riots. It's like It's a whole thing.
But it makes all the games matter. That's what like that. I mean, it just kills our sports. I do agree with that. That like not having those games at the end matter. It's an issue because you have teams that start not trying anymore to get that first round draft pick, and it's like at the MLS, it doesn't matter. Like you're not going to be able to normally draft a guy in the MLS draft that's just going to immediately plug in and just be one of these top end guys. So it's like how do you keep people competitive like this? But there's no motive.
It's done. Yeah, the motive is you go down and everybody's salaries go down drastically.
You get cut.
Lose your job. Unless we have a really nice owner. I mean, that's the thing. It's like you can play for teams that have rich owners, and they don't care. That it's like, all right, so we lost 100 mil. Here's 200 mil. Let's go back up next year, invest in the future, yada yada. But my other question is going to be: do you guys think Americans would buy into promotion and relegation in American football, hockey, baseball, and other?
I don't see how there's no even comparison to those leagues.
I don't think so.
There's
I don't think so because
there's nothing even close to like what would be
I think
the
NFL.
In the NFL. Like no,
there isn't. But like you could make it. You could make the 20-person league or whatever, and then have another 20. You could like just hypothetically speaking. I don't think so. Just because I think that Americans would then view that as like you're having other outside entities and interfere with like your beloved NFL kind of thing. Like this is America's league, and I feel like they would kind of be like, no, we're not. This is the way it is. It would be tough. I think soccer would be easier just because not enough people understand soccer to begin with. So they'd be more open-minded, like, okay, yeah, like soccer's different. They do relegation instead of just 32 teams.
Soccer also in the U.S. has a much big player pool than any other sport. So it's easier to fill in like all of the. I just don't think straight up like I don't know if there's enough hockey players to
but I would love it though if the NFL did have relegation. That would make all of those games so much more fun to see, man. You see guys would be
put it in the
killing
college
each
system.
other, dude. Yeah.
I don't think you could do NFL relegation because like football is a sport. If you're not at the top level, it's just a bad game to watch.
Then do it at the college level.
Relegation at the college level.
Instead of doing
there's enough team to form a super league
conferences.
I would agree with that. I'm all about that, dude. Why can't Baker University, if they are consistently, why can't Rutgers University, these schools that are beating UMKC year after year in preseason, why can't there be a way for those clubs to get on a stage and prove that they can compete with some of these D1 programs? Because we all know it. We know it across the board. And Tyler, I guarantee you, is going to start talking about Oregon State and how outstanding Oregon State is. But I'm telling you, there are D2 schools that consistently smack D1 schools. Consistently. And we'll never see that matchup because they don't want to see it. They're scared. That's what relegation stops from happening.
Go join their conference. That's where you want to play. You want to go play D1.
I didn't get recorded. I tried to go to UMKC, Ty.
Oh no, I'm saying Baker. Like if Baker was upset about that, like just just move into a conference if that's what they want.
Is that how that? I mean, I just don't know. I don't even know how that works. I don't know how much money you have. Like I don't even know, man. But I'm just saying, like I wish that I could see NAI programs or D2 programs more consistently compete with D1 in non-preseason games.
I think they used to have a tournament with like the D1 championship winner, the D2 championship winner, the D3 championship winner, and then I don't know if NAI was thrown.
It's not good for marketing. It's not good for PR. Why would a school of that stature and that much money on the line, why would they put that at risk? There's nothing to make them put that at risk anymore,
I like that idea though. I like that. Like, yeah, I don't like how, and you're right. I mean, America is huge. The college skill set and like teams are so spread out, and you end up with these crazy teams.
Tyler Community College would go in and they would compete with every top 25 team in the country. And it's a junior college.
Right.
And it's because they find people that have shitty ACTs, bad grades, SCT, or maybe they don't know English well enough yet. So they want to come here and work with the fucking coach that's been sending off people to D1 and professional level. Dom Dwyer roll through Tyler Community College. It's like, all right, I'm going to go there. And I'm telling you, when we played them, we got beat 8-0 both times, 7-1 second time, I think what it was. But it's like those guys are without a doubt starters on every D1 pro, but you'll never see that game. You'll never see that game.
There's outliers with that and everything, though. There's D3 schools like Messiah. There's this big D3 school called Messiah. They win it like, I don't know, 10 out of the last 12 championships in D3, and they are just a big they're super religious, and they just grab D1 players who want to devote their life to God, and they just are like they beat Maryland like 3-1 after Maryland won a national title, I don't know, a while back.
Playing
Like they're
just playing for the love of Christ. How
just
can you
seriously,
ever
it's
compete?
terrifying going to their field. They are just machines. Like, I don't know if you've seen Stanford play. They're seriously, they
It's
move like a
amazing.
machine. They just do high press the entire game. They're really like they're way too technical for D3 to start with, and it's a mess. They're very similar to Stanford.
That's why maybe we need that Super League.
That would be so awesome
go.
if you had the Super College League and then you had them playing indoor soccer in the off season as well.
Well, you
Make
don't
it
want a
year-round
college.
thing.
Well,
Now we're
it sounds like
talking.
what you want is you guys are kind of going about this wrong. Is you want a college champions in Europa League. You don't want a Super League. You want them
Yeah.
to win your conference tournament, and then you can go play the other conference tournament, or the conference winners.
Yes. Yeah, we need a Champions League for college, literally.
Yeah.
That would be.
Oh, what a fucking idea.
That'd be fucking amazing.
Yo, we
dude.
can't
That would be
post this though. 'Cause
amazing.
fuck the NCAA. We're not like giving them any ideas.
NCAA would never do
true.
that, dude.
Do you know how much money they would make off of that?
Oh my god. No, I mean that would be amazing.
Oh, we think that your education. I think that's a quote, right? We feel that your education. No, the reporter asked, "You made 200 or like 300 million dollars last year." Well, we feel that an education is worth just as much as they would. Like, what are you saying? Put it in the bet. Like, just put it aside. They can get it when they leave. Like,
Yeah.
we feel that the books are.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the maths, gets really sticky, Will. You bring in somebody. How could you put a value on the education? Think about the skills that
Right.
one develops, then move on to make millions and millions of dollars for them and their families. That's what we're providing. Yeah. Good Lord, man. You guys are selling these jerseys. Get the
I
hell
know.
out of here, dude.
Jerseys, ticket
The
sales,
fucking
TV
jig.
rights.
The jig is up, dude. Get out.
I know.
So yeah, no.
They would never talk to us either. We'll never get it.
The Champions College Cup. Fucking let's demand it. I don't even care if we don't get benefit money. Like I just want to watch that fucking tournament every year.
That'd be fun.
It'd be way better than March Madness. It'd be better than March Madness. It'd be like the World Cup, but college. All the best college teams for soccer.
No, I don't think.
All right, that was a stretch.
I don't think
that was
a
stretch.
68 team single elimination tournament. I don't know how.
Yeah,
you beat that out.
Fair enough. I was a reach, but it would be up there.
Fun.
It would be fun.
It'd be fun.
Yeah. Would you rather? Would you think it'd be more fun than the World Cup?
No, dude, the World Cup's like,
no. What about? It would definitely be more fun than whatever the fucking national tournament is for men's soccer right now. God, it's so boring to watch that, dude. I tried to watch it when I was coming out of Baker. It was brutal. Signing off, BNT. Fucking vote for the College Champions Cup.